Hey, I didn't see you there. Good morning. It's Monday. Happy Monday. Hope you're having a great day. Ah, what a beautiful day. Mid December, probably in like 70s right now. Enjoying some coffee, cup of joe. Trying to figure out what to do today. What are you guys doing today? Put it in the comments. Let me hear from you. I'm sharing my day. Share your day. So, what should we do on the farm? Tell you what everybody does on a farm. Let's plant a mango tree. Let's go. Okay, first things first. Have your space picked out. Know where you're going to put your mango tree, and let the variety of your tree determine where you're going to put it. We're planting in my orchard. Our spacing is 21 feet apart, 7 meters. No, I don't use a measuring tape. I step it off. I have a 36-inch step. That's 1 meter. I take 7 steps. I plant a tree. That'll allow us to have a tree that's about 15 by 15, 15 foot tall, 15 foot wide. And with that, we should get anywhere from 300 to 500 pounds on the tree. Those are the numbers that we're trying to get. If you're planting at home, make sure your variety determines where you're going to put it, or where the space you have available will determine what variety you get. Do not plant a 60-foot tree that's very vigorous 5 feet from your house. It's not going to work out very well. You will spend your days and evenings and mornings and all of the time out there trying to keep this tree under control. And then when you prune it too hard, you won't get any fruit from it. Just is what it is. So our trees, where are they at? 21 feet apart, 7 paces, 7 meters. Gives enough room for the roots, enough room for the canopy, and lots of fruit. So now that I've got my space all picked out, we're right here in the middle of row number 4. I know that means nothing to you guys, but it does for me, and I use these videos as a reference. So space, 21 feet, 7 paces. Boom. There's my next tree. Boom. Look at that little guy. Boom, boom, boom. All the way down. Okay, if you plant a lot of trees, some of the best advice I can give you, and this is for tree planting or nursery, landscape, farm, not applied to anything else. A spade is not for digging holes. It's for moving material that's already loose. If you want to dig a hole and you don't want to break your back or spend all day doing it, you need a root shovel. Solid steel. Very easy. Throw it in the ground, it does the work for you. I got too many stories about these shovels. Do yourself a favor, save your back, buy a root shovel. All right, let's get to it. I'll get you guys set up. You can watch me dig. How much fun is that? There we go. I know what you're thinking already. George, that hole is too small for that tree. You don't have enough room to backfill and water and blah, 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 blah. Well, let me show you. The most important part. Well, no, I take that back. Very important part. Watch this. Well, okay, next first. You got to get it out of the bucket. Don't cut your buckets. You don't have to cut the buckets. You need those buckets to plant your vegetables and all the other things you're going to plant. Or you put it on Marketplace and you sell it for $10 and buy another tree. Very simple. You tip the tree over. 1 foot on the bottom. Out she comes. You know, one thing about Florida, it's definitely overpopulated, but not by people. By fire ants. Yes, just about every place has them. First, you put your shoes back on. All right. As much as these trees love this soil, when it is at the nursery, when you go to put it in the ground, it does not like this soil. Here's the reason. This is all organic. That, mostly inorganic. Sand, which means it doesn't shrink. This shrinks. You take that, put it in that hole, all of that decomposes, and your tree goes for at least 3 to 4 years until it tightens up. So here's what you do. Get rid of as much of that as you can. Okay, so here's what we got. Look how much smaller that root ball is. I know some people are about having a panic attack right now, but here's the reason. Guys, I've been in the nursery business and the landscaping business and all of those businesses for a long time. Planted thousands and thousands, probably tens of thousands of trees. I lost count a long time ago. The nursery business usually isn't about growing quality trees. It's about profit. I hate to break it to you. They need to make money. They have to make money. And the way that they do that is by not upsizing the way that they should. And I'm going to show you. Let me see if I can get a better light here. This is what you need. This is what you're looking for right here. Yeah, get the camera on it, George. You see that taproot? That's the taproot for this tree. Mangoes are hardwoods. They have taproots. Now you can see this taproot here. This was probably in a 7-gallon bucket for a long time. Hit the bottom of the bucket, started to circle. You do not want circle roots. If your roots circle and they're still circling when you're planted in the ground, they will continue to circle. They will continue to circle. I can't tell you how many times I've planted trees early on in my career and got a call from the customer or whatnot that the tree died, wasn't doing good, blah, blah, blah. And I love to investigate things. So when I would go out and I'd dig it up and I'd come to find out that the roots were still circling and they never got a chance to get down into the native soil because they were kept in a bucket too long. And that's the nursery business. Customers are partly to blame because they want big trees for cheap prices. So the nurseryman keeps the tree in the bucket, gets really, really big, and then makes the customers happy because they're buying a big tree in a small bucket for a cheap price. Well, you get what you pay for, because if it were to be right, you would have a big bucket with a tiny tree and healthy roots. It's just the way business is, guys. There ain't no way around it. But we can fix it, and here's how. So you get off most of that soil, you find your taproot, okay? So this thing made a hard left, it got up potted, and then the taproot started to go down again. Now it's in a 15-gallon bucket. You can see the taproot starts to make a right again. Somebody cut it when they repotted it, which is good. And the taproot starts to branch out, which is also good. And here's what we're going to do. You see that taproot? Make a break in it right there. And what that's going to do is, now when I plant it in the hole, this taproot is going to go straight down. Now you might say, oh, ripping it apart like that, the tree's going to go into shock. Well, for one, it's December. No, it's not going to go into shock. And there's another way to remedy that, which I'll show you in a minute. All right, let's get this beautiful baby in the ground. All right, this is called wet setting your tree. In my opinion, the only way to plant a tree. Put it in a hole. Look, I got a couple inches from there to, from here to my native soil. That's going to let this tree sink down a little bit, and we won't run into a problem with the tree being planted too deep. With mango trees, too high, okay. Too deep, it's going to die. So, get a little bit of dirt in there. Let me back up. And then you flood that hole. Water can and has reshaped the entire world. The best way to compact and backfill your tree is with water. So, 2 buckets. First bucket goes in when it's halfway full. All right, let me put the rest of your dirt in and make a little donut. Now, this isn't for a customer, this is for our orchard, where I like to do things in bare feet with my hands, because I'm a big kid at heart, and I like to get my hands dirty, and this is an adult way for me to play in the dirt. And you get your second bucket. Make sure you got a little water basin. Sorry, I don't have a cameraman, and I'm trying to do this with one hand. And then you slowly put your second bucket in there. Let it settle down, push it down a little bit, and you will make this tree very, very happy. Nutrient-rich phosphorus, nitrates from the pond. Yep, organic gardening here. Look at that beauty. All right, so remember when I told you about the tree going into shock? Here's how you keep it from going into shock. For one, I don't think it would go into shock anyway. It's December, and there's not much draw on the roots. But either way, we don't want this shape. I want to shape my own tree. I told you I want 15 by 15 trees, and in order to do that, you gotta keep them bushy. Yes, those are metal snips, because they work great. So this reduces the canopy, which reduces the water requirements, nutrient requirements. And now, you've got that beautiful little tree. It's going to give you amazing fruit for a long, long time. Now, this is a very vigorous tree. So this baby's going to want to grow. It's got plenty of space, 20 feet. My rows are 20 feet by 20 feet. 7 meters, roughly 7 by 7. And this baby's going to get there quick. Look at all that soil I took off. That reduced establishment time by probably 2 years. I won't need to stake that tree or anything. By the end of this coming summer in 2025, that baby will be nice and tight, be able to withstand the storms. I can take the bracing off and hopefully start getting some fruit from it. 2026, maybe 2027, we'll see. But we like to get a nice big tree before we pull fruit from it. Okay? All right, you guys. So I don't know how much you enjoyed that. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully I made it fun and informative. And if you didn't enjoy it, hopefully you got some good information for the next time you plant the tree. Even from what kind of shovels you're supposed to use, how deep, how to get it out of the bucket, and get your feet and hands in the dirt and get growing.